Stop it. Stop it.
I feel like there's a hazard right there.
There's no hazard. You're so rude.
There's things about to fall off the side of the desk. There's a coffee.
I moved everything over here because if anything's over there,
I'll it.
No, you'll say, why is this here? What's this doing in my space?
Mm-hmm. You're going to elbow that coffee cup.
What's happening, everybody? What's up? Did you miss me?
That was excessive.
Oh, that just made the dog bark.
It's because you haven't spoken in 6 days because I've been gone.
I have been speaking to the dogs, excuse me very much. They are not people. So they do not count in my no peopling. Anyway, what's happening, everybody? There, why is that? I was being kind of wonky there. I'm Katie. This is Vicky, aka Victoria, aka the prodigal fiance. Well, I already said fiance, but my fiance. How's it going?
Officially 2 years ago today.
2 years ago today, guys.
Yeah.
So it's been a while. I didn't do a show on Sunday because I was taking some time off. And
she was refusing to people while I was gone.
Pretty much. And I mostly got away with it. So you've been gone. You were on the East Coast, so you're still a little bit on East Coast time.
Yep. I'm a little tired. I'm a little trying to figure out what time it is, what day it is. I'm hungry.
Happening.
I'm hungry. It's 2 o'clock and I haven't eaten anything. It's 2 o'clock there.
Yeah.
It's 11 o'clock here.
Yep.
I'm hangry. I'm getting hangry.
And I got to go grocery shopping right after the show because grocery shopping, I would have had to do a lot of peopling had I gone to the grocery store.
So there is nothing for me to eat.
Yeah.
And I'm hangry.
And in your brain, it's like 2 o'clock in the afternoon.
Mm-hmm.
And in your belly, as you said.
My belly thinks it's 2.
What's going on, guys? It's Wednesday, so it's Boss Up and List Day. What is Boss Up and List Day? What is that?
Boss Up and List is our all-day virtual listing party that we host in the Boss Facebook group. Katie and I help Teresa run the Boss Facebook group with some other fantastic admins. The link to the Facebook group is down below. If you're not in there, you should be, because that is where all the cool kids congregate.
It's true.
When they're not watching our show.
Anyway. Lots of loitering. Getting into trouble.
Mm-hmm. So all the kids are smoking behind the schoolyard. And
yeah, it's going to be like our new tagline, Boss Facebook group, where all the cool kids smoke behind the dumpster. What?
Yeah, sure. Anyway, so that's where we talk about our goals for the week, our goals for the day. Sometimes every Wednesday is our Boss Up and List day. And we take a little break middle of the day-ish so that we can chat with our virtual coworkers and kind of hold one another accountable for our goals for the day. We do it all the time, but Wednesday's our day that we kind of focus on it.
It's all about helping people get into habits. Mm-hmm. And it's a Flip It just busted out a $5 super chat. So Miss You Sunday at about 5 after I remembered Vicky was out of town and Katie wasn't wearing pants.
Accurate.
Dang, LOL. Now, to be clear, wearing pants or not wearing pants usually has no impact on whether or not we do a show. I will say I am wearing pants at the moment because I'm going to be going to the grocery store afterwards, and I figured I would be prepared. Now I'm trying to decide if I'm going to go to the grocery store with my slides on, since she won't be going with me, so she can be angry about it. But anyway, thank you for the $5 super chat. Let's give a little bit of super chat. She's super chatty. Meow. Did you miss me?
You should ask me that before you did that.
Oh, so here's the thing I want to know. So we're talking about smoking in high school, which I did not do, but I want to know, is that like, okay, when I was in high school, which was in the 90s, the smoking,
as was I, it was in the 90s.
Okay, in the 90s. I wasn't saying it as opposed to you. Anyway, it was in the 90s, and so we had our high school, and there's the parking lot, and the parking lot wasn't very deep, so the high school was pretty close to the street, and then right across the street there was this apartment complex, and the sidewalk kind of at the entrance of this apartment complex, that's where all like the kids that smoked would go and hang out and smoke cigarettes. So they weren't like hiding, like they were right. It's just they weren't on school property. They were like right across the street.
We were on school property. We just hid on the side of the building.
Yeah. So I just remember the kids, like they didn't hide it. They just were over there smoking, and it was like a lot of like the punk kids.
We used to smoke in front of the school too. We could smoke on school property when I went to school. What were they going to do? It wasn't.
Well, that's the thing.
You didn't have to be 18 to smoke then.
Okay, well, you did have to be 18 when I was a kid, but when I was in high school, at least in Oregon. But I just, when I think about it, I'm like, today, is that even like, what would happen if the kids were just like across the street smoking cigarettes? Of course, now I think they all vape and everything, but
they vape.
It was just, I don't know, because when I think back to it, I'm just like, man, that's kind of weird. Like the kids would just like hang out right in front of the school and be like smoking their cigarettes, and
I don't know. Bad habits, bad kids. We was bad. Standing there with my big hair and my ripped jeans and my concert t-shirts and my silver and black bracelets all the way up to my elbows. Oh yeah, it was good.
So so Sandra says that she used to hide in the woods behind the school.
We didn't have to hide.
Yeah. Well, but now Sandra, I don't remember what year you graduated.
She's
You're
the same
like
age, she's like the same age as me.
Okay. Anyway, I just think that's kind of funny. But now they have like
we couldn't smoke in school, but kids certainly did. They'd get caught smoking in the bathrooms all the time.
Right. Because like
not in the boys' room, Mary, smoking in the boys' room. I get your reference. I get you, girl. I see you. Anyway.
Yeah. So today's Possible Day. You've been gone for 6 days. Mm-hmm. You had grand plans. You had really grand plans for all this work you were going to do while you were gone.
I brought some stuff with me that was easy and small to take photos of and list while I was gone. I didn't do a damn thing of it, but I did I had a bunch of drafts that I kind of dragged out throughout the week and made them live and cross posted them. So I did a good hour to hour and a half of work every day. And then I did some cross posting. And then I had to go in and end all of my items on various platforms. Dudes, I've got to say, when you're on 4 or 5 platforms, now that I am on 4 or 5, it's real easy to navigate just eBay and Etsy. You end one or on the other when you only got 2 platforms with your stuff cross-posted.
Yeah.
4 or 5 platforms at once, it's a bit hairy at this point. It's like every day I have to open up every single one of them a couple of times a day and go in and end them. And I'm afraid that I'm missing one on the other. And, on the other hand, I have to say I'm having sales on almost every platform, like every other day. So,
yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
I had Grailed. In my Grailed, I'm over 1,100 listings already on Grailed, because that's one of the things I worked on a lot while you were out of town, is getting all those moved over. And let me tell you, so I've been, within the last week, I've added probably 600, 700 listings to Grailed. And over this last weekend, I did over $400 in sales on just Grailed. So
that's pretty awesome.
So it's definitely like paying off and stuff. But let me tell you, having 3 platforms, it really does increase the.
I've been on Posh for 3 weeks, 3.5 weeks. I've been on Posh, and I have about 700 listings there. And my plan is over the next few days to get up over 1,000. But I have 700 listings there. I've had 10 sales, so I'm 5 sales away from Posh Ambassador. I have everything. I'm way over for everything else. So I'm kind of excited about that. I'm not selling anything huge yet, but I'm taking more offers there. I'm just trying to get it done.
Yeah.
But I've been selling on Mercari steadily, Etsy steadily. I had my best month on Etsy ever, not that long ago.
Nice.
This was like my best 30 days. I think I was at 2,200 on Etsy. That's the most I've ever done in a 30-day period on Etsy. So my eBay sales are kind of cruddy right now. They're down from last year at this point, but to be fair, I haven't listed a whole heck of a lot either. So I got to get some stuff. Done. So
Sandra says that they'd go skip class. They'd skip class to go smoke.
I would just skip out entirely. When I left school, I just left school.
I was always, I was a relatively good kid, and I always got good grades. I will say, I was one of those kids where I was smart enough that I could really get by with minimal work and still get A's and B's. I could have gotten a 4.0.
Oh, that was me.
Always, but I never put the effort in, and so occasionally I would, but usually I had just A's and B's. But when I was a freshman, my sister Binky was a senior, and that was like the year that she decided I was okay because her friends really liked me, and so I actually did skip school. Occasionally with her, we'd go off in our little Honda Civic hatchback. It was like an '84 Honda Civic hatchback, and we'd go get ourselves into trouble.
We had a we had my best friends had a Bronco. A Bronco 2, I think it was called, or a Bronco something, or the Ford Bronco. We used to take off in the Bronco.
Yeah.
Yeah. I was the same way. I was a straight A student. I didn't really need to study. School always came very easily for me. And I would leave school and, I'd write myself out of school. I would forge my notes. It was kind of easy because the reality is I was an emancipated minor. So my senior year, I had my own apartment. So, I mean, I really could do anything I wanted. But even like sophomore and junior year, I was living in a foster home. So I didn't have a lot of supervision. So I could do whatever I wanted.
I feel like when I was in high school, like I don't remember having to like fake. I mean, I remember my sister having to like fake notes for my parents, but that was because I think she skipped quite a bit more than I did. Like I said, I was a relatively good kid, so I was always very kind of calculated and careful about like spreading out anything like that. So I didn't really get in trouble.
I could forge the notes from my foster parents because the school didn't really know what was happening. They didn't really know I had foster parents. It's kind of weird. Like they didn't. Like someone else was saying, kids don't get away with crap these days between the phone and the tracking and the GPS on your phone.
Yeah.
We didn't have any of that. Our parents, God, we should have been, I've seen the memes before. When we were in high school, we were like drunk in a ditch on a Saturday night when our parents thought we were having a slumber party at someone's house. They didn't know what we were doing.
I wasn't really doing that. Like I went to like 2 parties my senior year and like had like 1 drink each time. So I wasn't, honestly, like most of it was just me being paranoid and not wanting to get into trouble. But the reality is, as strict as my parents were, at least my dad was, they were also oblivious to what was going on. Like they would go to bed, and the way our house was situated, their bedroom was downstairs, and then both of our bedrooms were upstairs, and they couldn't hear anything was going on. Like
his dad's definitely.
I snuck out a couple times. My sister snuck out a lot more. They never came to check on us. They never. Somebody posted a meme that said something like, you think you're a bad parent, but just remember E.T. or Elliot's mom, didn't know there was an alien in the house for a whole week or something like that.
Yeah.
and I'm like, that's my parents, because seriously, like we could have had an alien living up in my closet upstairs and they never would have noticed.
For sure. Yeah, I was not a bad kid, but I definitely did it all and got away with it all. So my poor kid, she didn't get away with shit. My daughter's 27 now. When she was a teenager, honestly, she was grounded her whole life, I swear. Point for those that have teenage children, let them get away with stuff once in a while. Pick your battles. I didn't do that. My poor kid was grounded all through high school. She didn't get away with anything. But she every single thing she did, she would get in trouble. Yeah. Everything. She was so funny.
For some reason, Rick wants to see me with blue eyeliner, making some sort of problem. Is she probably wouldn't want to see me in blue eyeliner. So.
She always wears black or brown.
I wear black.
She does wear makeup,
which you never notice until if I'm not wearing it, and then you notice.
Because you look like you're 10.
Subtle. It's subtle, okay, guys?
She wears makeup the way makeup was intended, to enhance your features, and you're not supposed to be able to tell you have makeup on. I wear makeup because this is how nature intended me to look, with hot pink hair, blue eyeliner.
Yeah. Yeah, pretty much. Anyway, so we don't really have like a topic for today. Just kind of we're doing like an Ask Me Anything. AMA,
we're kind of clearly we're just going to shoot the shit with you for the next 45 minutes.
I mean, we got home at like 12:30 last night, picking her up at the airport. We woke up this morning and I'm like, it's Wednesday, and she was like, and I'm like, well, we'll just do it. We'll just do a casual AMA, so it's not a big deal.
Yeah, we got in. It was after 3 my time because I did get adjusted to East Coast time pretty quickly. So I was a bump last night. Yeah, very, very tired.
Pretty much. So yeah. So if anybody has any questions, any reselling related questions, business related questions, or whatever, go ahead and ask, and we will try and answer them. I saw somebody commented on the fact that that Relove, that reselling platform, RELOVV.
Yeah.
Relove is shutting down. I don't even know, like I had never even heard of them until they got added to List Perfectly. So I'm not really sure.
Did anybody use them? I didn't use them.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know how many people use them. I mean,
anybody that we know, or anyone in the chat, did anybody use them? I had heard a couple people were trying. I think
was it just like
I think Liz O'Kane was using them or had put a few things on there. I don't know how well she did or not. I only heard about them through List Perfectly as well. I had never heard of them. I've never been on the platform.
But then there's platforms like Bonanza, and that's been around forever. It's like how how do they even like keep going? Like, do people like who shops on Bonanza?
I don't know who shops there, but I have my stuff on Bonanza.
I know, and you sell something what, like maybe once a month or once every few months?
Not much.
Yeah,
but it doesn't cost me anything.
Sure.
And
I'm just curious, like
it's zero maintenance. I synced my stuff 10 years ago, and I've never looked at it since.
Yeah.
So
I don't know.
But what Bonanza does do that no other platform does is that it ends your listing when it sells. Like it ends your eBay listing when something sells on Bonanza.
Yeah, and that has to do with how they are connected to
they have
the
API connection that unfortunately the rest of the companies will not provide to list perfectly. Because people keep saying, oh, it'd be great if they'd end your items for you. Yeah, it would be freaking great. By design, they cannot do that and do not do that. So if you host, they're at the point now, or they're going to be at the point shortly, if you host all of your items from OnList perfectly, which for some of the larger business plans is an option, depending on how large of an inventory you have. If you host your items there would be one-click option to end your listing.
Yeah.
But if you have your items hosted everywhere, like I do, I don't use their hosting option in that capacity. It's just not possible.
Yeah.
It doesn't work that way.
So Susie wants to know, do you do a yearly inventory of your items?
No.
That's not to say that we shouldn't.
That's not to say that one shouldn't.
Yes, but neither one of us do a yearly inventory. We should.
I have not done inventory since I moved here 6.5 years ago.
We certainly should. And there's definitely been times when I have seen something like a jacket hanging on the rack, and I'm like, huh, and I look it up or whatever and realize that it's not listed. So, I mean, who knows how many things I have there. I mean, this just goes along with, kind of prioritizing things, especially when you are the sole person in your company.
I absolutely need to do an inventory. I'm not lying. Everyone needs to do inventory for sure. Do as we say, not as we do, is what we're going to say right here. You really should do the inventory. You should do it once a year or twice a year, even if you have the ability. I have 2,700 items, and I honestly wouldn't even know where to begin. If you have a really good inventory system, like the system that Teresa has talked about many times that lots of people have implemented in various ways, I think your inventory system or using, the custom label field makes life super easy or manageable for people that do inventory. We do none of those things. Neither one of us do any of those things. And again, it's a do as I say, not as I do. But I've honestly, I know where everything is. The entire time I was gone, Katie did my shipping for me, and she has a general idea of where to find my stuff because I do keep like items together. But if she had any questions, she sent me a text message, where's this? And I would tell her exactly. And there were no issues. It's the third bin down on the right-hand side, or it's the third shelf down on the left, about halfway over next to X. Like off the top of my head, I know where everything is.
Yeah.
I'm not saying everybody can do that.
I mean, I think it would be, in my mind, when I've sat back and fantasized about a world where I did inventory,
I almost choked.
The way I envisioned it is probably I would just print out, because you can export like your listings to like an Excel spreadsheet or whatever. And I would just print out like, a list of all my listings, and then I would just go bin by bin, or like with my jackets, go through, and maybe I would obviously I wouldn't be able to do it all in a day, but like over maybe like a week or two.
I tried it once,
bin by bin, and just cross off everything. But man,
I tried it once about 4 years ago, and I had Dana helping me. I was paying her to help me. And about 4 years ago, and I think we got through about 6 hours and about 200 items and went, frig this is it's going to cost me too much to pay her. It was taking too long. It was nearly impossible. Thrift Fever asks, Rick asked, how much do your storage cost?
Well, the ones that I get at Costco, and I think they're normally like maybe $8.99, and sometimes they have deals, so sometimes you get them for like $6.99. I'm a big believer in like, once I find one that works for me, I want all of them to be the same, because it just helps with stacking and fitting everything together. But yeah, they're not too expensive. They're nice and sturdy, although sometimes they'll change what they are. I've had them change them before, and then they weren't as good, and they were slightly different dimensions, even though they were still a 27-gallon. But hey, I wanted to answer, there's a question. Laura asks, I hear you know how to make your URL match when you change your store name on eBay. called eBay. They said it takes a week to catch up, but then some said you have to change in 2 places. So unless eBay has done something new, which I doubt when it comes, because this probably wouldn't be very high on their priority list. If you change your, you do the basic thing, whatever it is, to change your store name or your username, the URL does not change. I don't know off the top of my head, and honestly, it's relatively easy to find. If you just Google it, it'll come up with like in an old eBay community post, or maybe a couple of them. But basically the process is something like you go and you change your name, but then you have to go kind of to the old version of eBay, like the site preferences or store whatever preferences.
I have no idea.
You have to revert back to the old eBay. It's seriously, it's so convoluted. You have to revert back, and then when you get into the old view, there's a place where you can go and you can actually change your URL.
You are absolutely not answering her question. You're confusing the crap out of
Okay, but what I'm saying is Google it, and it has to do with reverting back to the old store view, the old account view, and changing it there, and then you revert back again. And I'm just saying, if you Google it, you will find it. But yes, there is a way. No, I do not believe that it magically happens on its own after a week's time, like eBay is saying it does. So anyway,
we've already got a comment for our rambling. Somebody said on our show, get to the point.
Well, that's not this show. That's something
no,
else.
It might be this show. It might be a different show.
Oh, okay. Well, yeah, because they can't leave comments.
My answer is F off. There's your point.
You know what? Whatever. Everybody has their own style.
If you don't like the show, I don't care. Don't watch. There's a million other YouTubers to watch, honestly.
And maybe you're somebody who has a severe negative reaction to somebody pretending to cry like a baby, in which case I'd say don't subscribe and maybe never watch us again. Or you can be subscribed to us so that you know when our show comes on, and then you can go downvote us and leave angry comments.
Right, we have people that do that too. Super fans.
Anyway.
Super fans.
Yeah, Vicky's the one who's more likely to.
No, I did honestly. I did just reply to that,
name,
that way. No, but it comes up for both.
You're not following my new method, my new approach, which I
bless
feel
your heart. Bless your heart.
I've learned it from Grandma Cheap, and somebody commented something like kind of shitty, and I just responded with bless your heart, and that was it. I think
it was something about getting to the point as well.
No, it was something.
12 minutes to get to the topic. I'm unsubscribing. Okay.
But yeah, so my new thing is to just say
bless
your heart. See, but Vicky's she runs a little hot. She runs a little hot. She runs a little hot, so she's more likely to have an emotional response. Whereas I like to sit back and say, bless your heart.
Rick says monetization, potty mouth patrol. Yep, that's a God love you. God loves you. Bless your heart. Anyway.
So whatever, there's like a million different channels out there.
So there was a question there, and I think I saw that Crystal answered the question about someone who said that they're a newbie. Scroll back up, honey.
I'm scrolling.
DM dancer. I'm a newbie.
Okay.
I have some nice vintage clothing, a couple of formal, been told I should list on Posh. I'm not a social media person, and sharing your closet often scares me. How time demanding is it? So 2-part question. I did see Crystal, Rosie's Closet, answer that for Etsy is probably your better spot rather than Posh for vintage clothing. I would definitely try Etsy before Posh. I think that's a better market for your vintage clothing, and you're going to get much better buyers and higher prices. Not that you can't sell vintage on Posh, you can, but it's better on Etsy for first part of the question. Second part, the sharing of your closet and all that kind of stuff and all the social part that comes with Posh is annoying as heck. I'm not going to lie. It's the reason why I didn't go on. It's the reason why I didn't go on Posh for a very long time. And the reality is I don't do any of it, not one bit of it. I hire someone to do it. I don't even know how to share my closet. I don't know how to share anyone else's. I don't know how to share a single item. I don't even know how to do it. I know nothing. All I do is cross post and sell, and I send out offers. That's all I know how to do. And I pay someone else to do the rest because I know I won't do it. I don't want to know how to do it.
The reality is that there are so many different platforms and methods for selling your stuff online these days, and it's really all about choosing the ones that best fit you and your method of working. And so for me, eBay, obviously number one. Etsy, I love. That's my second love. Actually, it's kind of my first love, to be honest, even though I don't make as much money there. And then I just recently added Grailed, and those work for me. I don't anticipate adding any more platforms. And for Vicky, you know, she has her platforms that she works on, and she was always very anti-Posh until
I still am.
Well, no, that's what I'm saying. Anti-selling on Posh until, and refused to ever join the platform until she was able to hire out that aspect of it.
Until, first of all, it was until List Perfectly created the bulk cross-listing tool. That's right. First of all, made it too easy for me not to get my stuff over on Posh. That's first. Second, it was because a good friend of mine became a Posh assistant and started doing it for hire, and I know what I'm getting with her. I'm not hiring a random bot or someone I've never met. Not to say that that's not a good way to go. Just for me, I wanted to know that the person that is working for me and doing my stuff is somebody that is invested and cares whether I do well or not.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, Mel or Deb, I still don't get the sharing. Where does it go? I have no idea.
Yeah, I don't know. I think the whole, you know, whenever a new platform comes up, they like to have their own kind of angle and thing that makes them different. And so for Posh, it was very much about making it a social experience. And so that's why they made it, you know, it's kind of like, if you're going to succeed, you have to be very active. You have to be like following people. They need to be following you. You need to be liking things and sharing things. And that's how you feed the beast.
Too high maintenance for me.
Yeah. So it just depends. Susie would like you to know that, your hair looks so good.
See, and you call her Susie Biatch. I don't think she's a Biatch at all.
Excuse me. Susie Biatch loves her name that I have given her. She loves it. And I do not see the problem here. And I think she'll back me up here. That is a loving name.
It's a loving
name. Okay.
Thank you for the hair compliment. I have to say it is all due to this hair dryer thing that I purchased. I'm not even kidding. I don't ever endorse products or anything like that. And I'm not getting a darn thing for saying this. We do have an affiliate link, but it's in our Amazon page. If you have curly hair or if you have thick hair and you hate blowing out your hair, you hate using the flat iron, all that kind of crap, this little blow dryer thing is the best thing I have ever purchased. It was like 35 or 40 bucks. There's a link.
No, I was pointing at Susie.
Yeah, I see. But anyway, it's this best little blow dryer thing, and it makes my hair super soft and straight. And so, yeah. See, Robin says, love the hair dryer. I'm telling you, it's one of the, and I'm someone that has tried every darn product, every kind of brush, every blow dryer, every hair straightener, every other kind of crap. This is the only thing that has ever done this for my hair, and I love it. Yeah. And Robin has curly, thick hair too. So
yeah. Okay.
Anyway, all right, done with the hair sales pitch, but
yeah.
Takes me 10 minutes.
Mine, I do this.
Yeah, that's.
I put a hat on. I do this. Okay. And you can, if you go to any thrift store, you can pick up a hat of your own. Go to the link down below to join the thrift stores and pick up your own hat.
Shut up.
Anyway, okay, let's continue. Any other questions? What's going on? What's happening? What do you got for us? Yeah, I do need to get my hair cut though, Susie. So that is the truth. So I need to make an appointment to get that done.
My ears are still clogged from the plane.
Really?
Or I'm getting a cold.
I
tried really well. I sound like I have a cold, I think.
Yeah, you got like the kind of a little bit.
I was drinking Emergency all week, and then I was, you know, I had all kinds of like hand sanitizer. I had Lysol wipes and Clorox wipes on the plane. I was wiping everything down, my whole seat, the seat belt, the handles, the tray, everything. Yeah.
Let's see.
Corona beer virus. Yep, I'm telling you. With a side of lime.
Yeah, wait, I want to see. So Jen, I don't know what this conversation is here with accents, but she says that people either say she sounds like she's from the South or the East Coast. Jen, I don't remember where you are located, where you live. Because I will say, one of the things I noticed when I had somebody who was from New Orleans in my life, I could have sworn that she had like an East Coast accent, and it was so weird to me. And then I you know, once I got to know other people from New Orleans, they also sound like they were like, her family sounded like they were like from New Jersey or something. It was really weird. And then I learned something like back in, I don't know when, They brought in a lot of people from like Long Island or something like that to work in the shipyards or something. And there really is a reason why that accent is
But
prevalent.
she's from Indiana, so no.
So then I don't know. I know people from Canada always teased my sister when she went to college there that she sounded like a cowboy, and they'd say yeehaw to her. And we're from Oregon, so who knows?
Mary Mobley says I should have drank some Fireball. Man, I haven't touched that stuff in 5 years. Fireball, oof.
5 years? You were like putting back shots of Fireball 5 years ago?
Yeah, I was drinking Fire. When it first came out, everybody was drinking it. It was really big like 5-6 years ago. Everybody was drinking it.
I was doing Jaeger shots. Not really. That's gross. So Better Barbie, I don't know if you want to answer this question or not, but about how much you pay your Posh assistant.
So I pay $30 a week.
Yeah.
For her to do.
But I think it just depends on what you are asking for. And I would say from what I've heard from other people,
it depends on what you're looking for. It depends on how big your closet is. Depends on how much stuff you have to do.
I've heard plenty of people talk about like paying Posh assistants and getting them for very, very affordable prices. Mm-hmm. And plus you got to think like, do you have kids? Do you know any, like, it's kind of one of those things that if you know somebody, and they'd be willing to do it for
she just wanted a ballpark. Yeah. So I know that there are people and assistants in places that it can be done cheaper, and I know some places that charge more. I just do your research. So if you're looking just to get a ballpark figure, that's what I pay. Let's see. Susie says, what are we going to do? No eBay open this year.
I would say stay tuned. That's all we'll say.
Stay tuned.
Stay tuned. Little hint
To stay tuned. Let's see. Mary says, I haven't had a drink in 6 years. I drink occasionally. I'm a social drinker. I don't drink very much. I will say I drank the other night. Trish Glenn, our buddy Trish, Boston Trish, came down to Rhode Island to meet up with me, and she got a hotel room because she lives pretty far out in Mass. And we went to dinner and we had some cocktails, and then we had some more cocktails, and we stayed up talking until 1 or 2 in the morning.
You guys, she got wild and crazy and had like 4 drinks.
I did. 2 of them were martinis though. That was a lot.
4 drinks in like a 6-hour period. It was real crazy. Real wild and crazy.
Yep.
And then Trish went back to her room and ate some microwave hamburger macaroni.
She bought. So it's 1 o'clock in the morning, and there's the little gift shop at the hotel is open, and that's like the only thing open. And now at this point, we're starving because we had eaten 6 hours previously, and you know how it is. You want to go get Taco Bell or something, right? But we didn't do that because we weren't driving anywhere. But she gets this little microwave Stouffer's thing. Who has that at a hotel gift shop? It's a microwave in the hotel room, and
there was a microwave in the hotel room?
Yes, okay. She's eating a microwave Stouffer's pasta thing at 1 in the morning.
I don't know. I gotta say, Vicky sent me a picture of it. Like I was supposed to be like, what's going on? And I looked at it and I was like, that looks kind of good. I would totally eat that. I don't see anything wrong. I have to say, when it comes to like those frozen microwave meals, usually the best ones are the pasta ones, I think, in my opinion. Because it's like, just when it comes to, like if you get one that's like just chicken or God forbid steak or something like that, it just ends up being kind of gross by the time you microwave it. So,
all right, so stop talking about food. I'm hungry. Tutwork Studios, newbie here. Any advice on selling handmade costumes? They're professional grade. My fear is that people wear for an event, then return them due to eBay's 30-day return policy. I think that there is very do to avoid that, other than to say that you do not offer returns, and you can put no returns. Now, that being said, eBay can force you to take a return if the buyer were to say that the item is not as described. So you can still sell custom things and you can say no returns. I think in your case, because what you're selling is so unique, you can very easily say no returns. The other thing I would say is Etsy would probably be a fantastic platform for that type of item. And Etsy lets you create your own return policy for sure.
All right. Lady Luck Junk, our good friend Danica, gave us a 5. Excuse me.
My belly's growling.
I'm
hungry.
I'm trying to talk to our friend, and you're interrupting me with your belly growling. Anyway, $5 super chat. For this one, I'm just going to go ahead and sing her comment. She says, stay tuned. Should we start watching flights? LOL. I got sunglasses on my smiley face. Miss y'all. That's what she says.
Miss y'all. That's the worst way to I've ever heard y'all in my life.
No, I just want to say y'all. Yeah, stay tuned. So just that's all we can say right now, but in the near future we will be giving you guys some we will be announcing something, but just like I said, stay tuned. Just
Technical prize bond says my hairstyle in pink color is awesome and your cap is cute.
Oh.
So DJ, yes, the hair dryer is the Revlon one-step hair dryer brush. Yep, that's the one when you click on the page down below with the Amazon store. It's the only like personal product we have listed there because I've gotten so many people that have asked questions. So
speaking of your belly, Mary says, go get that woman some Roberto's. Let me tell you, that's what I had to eat yesterday. I had myself a burrito. It was delicious. It was real good.
I had a lobster roll.
I know you had a lobster roll. And then Grandma Cheap, speaking of Grandma Cheap, here earlier.
Yes, she was in the chat earlier.
Okay. She would like to know, how was the weather?
It actually, I'm very grateful. It was pretty good. It was cold as heck, but there was no snow and it didn't start to rain until yesterday. So it was a little bit drizzly yesterday as I was riding around. And of course, yesterday, my last day, all of my friends are at work, right? So it's a Tuesday, everybody's at work. And my flight wasn't until late afternoon. So I didn't have a lot to do yesterday. So I actually went to the airport early and then my flight was delayed. It was a pain. It was a long ass travel day. But I went to go to a thrift store. It was the only time I went and my stuff had already been packed and my bags were at the max. So I was like, if I find something good, I don't know what I'm going to do with it. But of course I did. I found 2 fantastic blankets of all things. Good thing is my mother was right down the street. So I went to my mom's house, packaged them up at my mom's house, and I've got to email my dad a shipping label at some point today to ship them off.
I told her, good luck ever seeing those blankets again. They're
the likelihood of them figuring out
stuff in their house.
The likelihood of them figuring out how to actually get the shipping out the door is slim.
Yeah, slim to none. Slim to none.
Yes.
Jen says she's never had a lobster roll. What?
You've never had lobster?
What?
Well, I mean, she's in Indiana.
Well, you know what? I was actually telling Vicky.
You don't want to eat Indiana lobster.
I was actually telling Vicky that I was super jealous. The one thing I was really jealous about was not getting to have any lobster rolls. But what's nice is that here we have this food truck. Is it just called Maine
Cousins Lobster? It was on Shark Tank.
Yeah, it was on Shark Tank. Anyway, it's a food truck, and they do legit lobster rolls here. They fly in the lobster daily, and so it's nice and fresh and delicious. And I told her, I mean, now to be clear, you have to pay like $18 and you get like a little lobster roll, but it is absolutely delicious. And if you are jonesing for it big time, it is worth it for sure.
So do we have any other reseller questions here, peeps, that we can answer?
Yeah.
As usual, we're talking about food. Yeah, we keep talking about food. We haven't done that in a while, actually. This is the first time in several months that we've gotten off on the food tangent.
Yeah. Anyway, flying lobster would be a pigeon?
I don't know what that means.
I don't know. Like, well, isn't pigeon is actually, when you eat pigeon, it's squab. Did you know that?
Yes.
I've never had squab, but that is pigeon. Anyway. All right, guys, give us some more questions. Give us some more questions. We've still got plenty of time here before I have to go to the grocery store, so I can save this one over here.
Yep. See, Mother Deal said it was cold. It was real cold this past week. There were a couple of days that it was down to like 20. I went to a wedding, and that was why I was there, and ideally. And I brought a dress with me. I went to get dressed that day to put on the dress to go to the wedding. That was in the late afternoon. I went, no, no, it's just too cold.
Yeah.
I put on some black dress pants and I wore my fantastic peacock sweater, tunic sweater that Katie got me for Christmas. And I looked fine. But yeah, it was too cold to put a dress on. I'm like, I don't even know, unless I had like leg warmers to wear under the dress or something. It was freezing.
So Jen says that she's been cleaning shoes to photo. Not my favorite. How do you feel about cleaning shoes to photo?
I don't do it.
Yeah, she's gross. Pretty much. And I just don't sell used shoes really. But on that note, you have recently, let's give a little bolo here. You've recently discovered and fallen in love. Dare I say, become obsessed with.
Well, I only bought 2 pairs. Not too bad.
Okay, but you've already stated your plans to acquire at least another 20 pairs.
Probably. So I love Converse and I love Vans, right? I usually the low tops. I don't like high tops. And I love different patterns and things like that. But I have recently fallen in love with this brand, this line from Keds called Rifle Paper Company. These were sold, I believe, at Anthropology. You know, can you think of Keds? Keds is not an expensive brand, right? They're not, but they're like really nice embroidery or painted or anyway. So this is a pair that I bought on Posh because I had to buy something and leave a love note.
Yep.
To be an ambassador. So I bought it on
super
Posh.
Cute.
Yeah. So I got a good deal on them because I don't think this girl knew how much she could sell them for. I paid like $30 delivered, but they sell really, really well. So yeah. They're Bolo for the brand or for yourself if you like them. I had never seen them before. I have 2 pairs so far and I need more now.
Yeah. So Debbie wants to know what's the best way to promote Etsy listings. So Etsy has, they have a couple different things. You can pay for Google ads. I tried it a little bit. I didn't feel like I got a return on it. I didn't feel like it was effective. They also have advertising on their site, which they used to call it promoted listings, but they just call it advertising now, where you set a daily budget. You're paying per click, so it doesn't guarantee that you sell anything, whereas like on eBay's promoted listings, you only pay the percentage if you sell the item through a promoted listing. I have found it to be pretty effective personally. I have I think my daily budget's like at $8, so I do spend quite a bit on it. But what I've found is that at least half of my sales are sold through those advertisements, whereas with eBay, it's like when I have promoted listings on, a very, very small percentage of my sales are through promoted listings. But half of my sales, if not more, on Etsy are from using that advertising. But I really think it's up to you to like experiment yourself, because Vicky has had different luck than I have doing it.
Yeah, I do about $2 a day is what I pay for advertising on Etsy. Again, my sales are not as good as Katie's. So I increased it to $5 and $6 a day, and I saw no increase in sales. So for me, meh. Anyway, I wanted to tell people about those sneakers, but they are kind of a bolo. Like, most sale, there's only 100. If you look on eBay right now, there's only 132 of them listed, which is, with that brand at all in any size. And then if you look at the solds, you're looking at 102 sold. So that's pretty much a 50% sell through. The exact sneakers that I'm wearing right now that are pre-owned, they were very lightly worn, but pre-owned sold for $65 plus shipping on eBay. Yeah, I paid $30 on Etsy, but I mean, for pre-owned Keds, there's anyway, it's just a brand that keep an eye out. They're not, they're good for resale if you find them.
So Robin wants to know if anyone can relate. Basically it looks like they've got some family moving in, so she's losing her office. It has to get another storage unit, and she's stressing out about it. One of the things I would say, it always sucks when you're like in need of space, and especially if you're losing space that you had before. But one of the things I think that we found really successful, or I guess it works really well for us. We finally got a storage unit this last year, but what we did is we put all of our personal stuff in it. So if you think about like, you probably have like a bunch of stuff that you would never want to get rid of, but you don't access it on a regular basis.
Whether it's in closets or if you have a garage or a basement, what I would suggest is that if you have to clear out space for your business, find a way to keep as much of it under your roof as possible, for at least for your listed stuff, because it's a lot easier to do shipping that way. That's how I feel anyway. But I keep like the only things we have in our storage unit are personal things.
Yeah,
and like literally, I think 4 or 5 overflow of and 4 or 5 large.
That was
listed items.
That was incredibly loud. They might have even heard that. That might have been picked up by the microphone.
Sorry. Rude.
Going back to lobster, Bear Kitty wants to know if we realize lobsters are the vultures of the sea.
Oh yeah, I do realize that.
That's what they're talking about.
You meant. Okay.
Pigeon. But you know what? Who cares? Because they're delicious.
They're yummy.
They're delicious. Okay, so Jennifer wants to know how Instagram sales are going. So I've been really, since I've been focusing on adding to grilled, I've been really terrible, and I haven't added anything to my Instagram in a couple weeks. I was doing so well for a long time, and I've kind of neglected it recently. I did sell something like a week and a half ago on there. I really need to get back to it. It's just tough because
I do realize that Rick from Thrift Fever has figured out how to make cover shots for his YouTube videos, and he's on the clickbait train. I love you. You know, I'm teasing you, but yeah, it's funny.
Anyway, so it's tough to keep up on that just because it's not like I'm selling like crazy on there. I get questions regularly, but if I was seeing like consistent results, it would be easier for me to like dedicate more time to it. And I know I just need to, but man, I don't know.
So Susie says she has a storage unit by She Shed. She loves going there and getting out of the house to ship. It's my happy place.
Yeah.
But is it your She Shed on your property?
Yeah,
or do you have to drive down the street?
Sure.
That's the difference. Like, I don't want to drive to ship every day because most of the time I'm shipping, I'm not even dressed yet. But
actually, I don't think it's on your property. It looks like it's probably a regular storage unit. So yeah, so pretty much.
Yeah, and Robin, just breathe. I know you're dealing with a lot right now. You just had foot surgery. There's a whole lot going on. So, you know, the kids bounce back sometimes, and got to do what you got to do.
It says about cleaning shoes, use Mr. Clean Magic Eraser.
Right, I do that.
Another item that works good is called Coachman Brand Sport Shoe Cleaner. It's sold at the dollar store. Interesting. I've never heard of that. When you say the dollar store, do you mean Dollar Tree?
Well, there's also the dollar store. There are.
I know, so I'm asking for clarification. Jeez, because they're recommending something that might work, and I want to make sure I know I'm going to the right place.
All right.
Yeesh. Anyway, so that's cool. Thanks for the heads up.
Yeah, and closing the porch might be the way to go, Robin. Enclosing the porch, and then it's also out of your living space, and that could be your storage area, and you don't need to look at it, and if that works for you.
So
I hate the fact that we don't have a basement here. If we had a basement, life would be a little easier for sure.
Yeah, we'd fill it up real quick too.
We would, but
eBay, Reseller, and Thrift King wants to know if there are more yesterday's fits boxes coming. I mean, I don't know. I don't have any control over that inventory. It really has to do with what they're able to get in to their store. I know Jesse was out of town for a few days this last weekend, and when he goes away, things kind of grind to a halt there because he's the one that does all the buying, and not a whole lot gets done as far as that goes. And they weren't able to go to the Rose Bowl this last time, which was last week, which really it's because Jesse was pretty sure he would catch the coronavirus, and I'm not kidding. Actually, because I think the only I think the only cases that had been reported in the U.S. I think he said anyway. I don't know.
We're in that area.
We're in L.A. or something like that. So he just was feeling like not so stoked about it, which it ended up getting rained out midday anyway. And that's been kind of like, the hope is that he can go there and buy like a bunch of stuff. So, I don't know. I'm supposed to be going there tomorrow. I'm going to guess probably not.
So Deb or Mel, I'm not sure. I think that's Deb. It hailed mother. So probably it was a good time to miss it anyway.
Yeah, for sure.
Robin says there are no basements in Florida. There's no basements in Nevada either. So, well, at least in Las Vegas area.
Yeah.
So I hear you.
You know who has an awesome, wasn't that a great basement? Diane.
Oh
my God.
Diane in Boston. Yes. Diane. First of all, her house is enormous, but her basement is
the size of 10,000 square feet. It's like enormous. And there's like all these different rooms and it's all organized, but it's packed, but you can get around to everything.
Oh yeah. I would love to have space like that.
It is absolutely nuts. Yeah,
she has a fantastic storage spot.
Allison says, "Don't be jealous. It allows me to keep too much crap." I will say though, like as far as like our space, we use. I mean, like for instance, our garage jam packed. However, every single item in the garage is listed. So it's not like we have this big space filled with stuff that's just like because like some people have like 4.5 storage units and they have an outbuilding and it's filled and they've got like enough stuff to list for the next 2 years if they didn't buy anything else. It's like, yeah, that's an issue, but everything that we have is listed. So it's working for us and we're both making full-time livings because of it. So
it's true. Everything's listed. I think I have about 50 items that are unlisted.
Yeah. Mary says that we should start a reseller commune. Hey,
it's funny you say that. So like we do have joked about that many times. But it's funny that you say it like that, is because we were talking with Britton a couple weeks ago, and he really loves the idea of creating buying a storage facility for resellers with shared working space, and renting out space to people, or buying a warehouse of some sort.
I think the idea is really cool, because it's kind of like basically, it's well, that would be like a co-op, basically, is what it is, as opposed to a commune. So it'd be like a co-op, and you buy into it, and you have space there, but you could also use, maybe there's like a shared photography room and all these different things, and you have your own space where you have inventory. I think it's an awesome idea.
In theory, I think it's a great idea. I wouldn't want anything to do with running it, but
well, yeah, I wouldn't want to run it. But the big downside in my mind would be like picking the location. Although, it would be, if it was not too far away, I wouldn't be completely opposed to the idea of doing that. And, like we were talking about, you're really looking to hire out, getting your photos taken, and all that kind of stuff.
That's true. If anybody local, by the way, is watching
local,
this, I local. I'm not looking for a remote VA. Sorry, I don't want to do all the measurements and everything and send it to you, because I might as well do my listing myself. But I am looking to hire someone for about 20 hours a week or so to do listings, preferably someone that has eBay experience. But so if you're local and you're looking, I do pay well. So
yeah. So and I actually think that I just thought, this just popped into my head right now, were there a space like that, a co-op, a big building like that had shared space, it would be perfect for somebody like you, because you would be able to hire somebody locally, but they wouldn't have to be in your house to work. You could,
because right now my people come to the house, and that's fine.
Right. And if that shared space had like a photography studio.
But you don't have to come to the house. That's my other thing too. I'm looking to hire someone that I can trust, that I can send home with stuff.
Well, but that's my whole point, is that it would open up more opportunity, because there would be a space they could go that would have the photography set up and everything that they would need without you. Because there are some people, like I know Trish actually buys like light kits and sets everybody up that works for her with their own stuff. And
and I'm willing to do that for the right person too.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, and you could do like an umbrella kit for like $50 too, so it's not like it's that big of a deal. So Laura wants to know, going back to the whole store name URL, does it matter if it doesn't match? I mean, for the most part, no. I think it just depends on your branding and how much you're going to be sending people to. I mean, website that redirects to their eBay store, and they're very into the whole branding thing across social media. It's not a big deal right now, but honestly, I will find that link. I know that you're in the Bots Facebook group, because just before we started the show, I saw, I think Laura Franzica had tagged me. Laura, I will find the instructions for how to do that, and I will answer your question in the Bots group later on today. Okay. Because I know for me, I wanted my stuff to match. So when I changed my name, I definitely wanted it to match. But does it matter? Probably not. It's a preference.
Miss Florida Sunshine has a question, and I'm wondering if anyone in the chat can answer that. I do not have multi-variation listings, so I can't speak to that, and I don't believe Katie does either. So I don't know if they don't allow you to send offers on multi-variations. I really don't know.
I feel like I remember that, but yeah, I'm not entirely sure. But I guess
but I'm hoping someone in the chat can answer that question, because everything I sell is a one-off. I don't have any multi-variation listings to speak about it.
Yeah. Jen says that she's been considering parlaying her reselling money into buying and owning a storage facility. Yeah, it'd be interesting. I would think like the biggest thing probably would be like figuring out how to deal with security and stuff like that. I know the one that we use, we feel very safe having our stuff there, but we have friends in town that have had theirs broken into. Ours, the
more than one.
The couple that runs it, they live on site. The facility's only open from like, I think 7 a.m. to 8 p.m. or something like that. And you have to use a code to get in, but you also have to use a code to leave. And here's one of the key things, because I actually made this mistake myself once. Like when you're going through into a gated community and somebody in front of you like goes in, and you just follow them in. You don't wait for the gate to close again and then put your number in. So I thought it didn't occur to me that I shouldn't do that. And so I followed somebody in, and then when I went to leave, I kept getting an error code. I was locked in the facility. I couldn't get out. I had to like go get help, but it's very, very secure. But anyway, Let's see. Any other questions, guys? We still have a few. We have about 5 more minutes or so before I have to go get Growly McGrowlerson over here some food and groceries for us for the week.
Oh, so. Crystal, send me a message. You would be ideal. You would be the exact kind of person I would be looking for. Would be like a single mom or a mom that's home with the kids or something like that. Because what I would do is I would send you home with, we'll talk. I would send you home and you could do it at your own house, in your own pace. You don't have to come into my house because I'd pay you per item.
Does this mean that we actually get to meet Crystal?
I don't know. I don't know. I was just talking about Crystal. I don't know if your ears were ringing. I was talking about you last night with Greg, DuPage Picker. Ooh. We were talking for about an hour and a half while I was on the airplane. And he kept me company while I was flying home. And we were chatting about, I'm like, I don't even know if she exists.
She was on our show, so we've seen video.
Well, I know she exists. I'm just saying.
We have seen video proof. I guess the real question is she really in Vegas? That's the real question. So speaking of DuPage Picker, don't we have like some updates on him? Because he's been like doing lots of taunting and teasing and like acting like he's moving to Vegas, like, oh yeah, I'll be there real soon. And yet we couldn't get him nailed down. What's going on?
I believe he's getting on the road at the end of this month. What? And he should be here by the 3rd or 4th of March. Yeah,
that's pretty exciting.
Mm-hmm.
Is he going to be your new estate sale buddy?
Maybe. He might be. He might be. Except we buy the same kind of stuff sometimes. So,
that's true. That's true. I don't know.
Greg, depends on where he ends up. I know he wants to end up in the Henderson area, so we'll see where he ends up.
Greg, do you do yard sales and stuff like that? Like, what's your?
Are you just trying to get out of hanging out with me? She's gonna pawn me off.
I'm not trying to get out of hanging out with you, but yes, it would be nice if you had somebody who liked to go to.
Robin says the start of the commune. We have a pretty large group of people here in Vegas, actually, that we hang out.
Bringing them all together.
We're importing them. Let's see. Claudia V said she accepted a best offer a few days ago. Buyer hasn't paid, sent invoice and message, but nothing. Open an unpaid item. Unpaid item dispute. There's nothing else you can do. You can't force anybody to pay. If they haven't paid by now, they may not.
So Susie, with lots of question marks, says, what's up with the wedding? I will say we don't necessarily know because our plan was to do it this next October, but then Vicky went to a wedding just recently, which was a lovely wedding, friends of ours that she really cares about in Rhode Island. She cried, had a good time, blah, blah, blah. But it did make her realize that she doesn't think she wants a wedding anymore. Like a wedding. Not that we don't want to get married, but that she doesn't want a wedding anymore.
I realize that most of the people that attend the wedding do not have fun. It's fun for the bride and the groom, of course, or the bride and the bride in this case. But I think that most people don't have a ton of fun at weddings.
But do you really think you would have fun? Like the actual getting married part is great, but like, I don't know. I just anticipate that like there's gonna be lots of stress, and then if things don't go right, then you're gonna be upset. And to me, listen. Because she said like for a long time that like a lot of it has to do with like, oh, well, this is Katie's never been married before, you've had a couple runs at it. And so she's like, she would always say like, oh, she really wants me to be able to have this wedding. And to be honest, guys, I mean, I don't know if it should be any surprise to you. Mm-hmm. I did not grow up dreaming about the day I got married and my wedding and what it was going to be like. Like, that's just not really like something that like I hold that I've like thought about a lot or necessarily care about. To me, it's about our relationship and the fact that we are committing ourselves to each other.
I've been to some really fun weddings too. I agree. I've been to some really fun weddings, and then I don't know. I'm on the fence. We had to postpone our wedding last year, and we still haven't solidified the plans for it this year. Has nothing to do with our level of commitment to one another. The wedding is happening. We are going to get married. It's just we wanted to do it right, and there was some stuff hanging over our heads. So I don't know. We'll see. I don't know. I'm undecided. I'm on the fence right now.
You were decided. This is what we were talking about. Now, you guys can weigh in. What about, and here's the thing. Yeah, food's great. But you know what? You can have a party to celebrate the marriage without having a wedding.
Here's the thing. We're not going to do that. That's the whole point. I'm not going to spend the money on a big party.
No, you let somebody else throw the party.
Baby. That's the whole problem. We have people on two opposite sides of the country. I have a huge group of friends and family on the East Coast, and I have a smaller group of friends and family here on the West Coast. That was the whole point.
Yes. Anyway, we've talked about just going to Italy and getting married there, and I like that idea. And so I think it should be good. Reseller Project says, the wedding is boring-ish.
Kind of true. And open bar, no way in hell. I have too many drunk friends. Are you kidding me?
Oh God.
We'd be having 100 guests
hot
at our
mess.
wedding. Open bar, first of all, it'd put me in the poorhouse, and second of all, it'd be a hot mess. So
it would be a hot mess.
We're definitely going to Italy. So
Yeah.
we were thinking about, you know what, let's just do it there and forget it. And then we come back and who cares? So
exactly. And then we can like go, we can fly first class. We can like do whatever we want there because we'll have like the extra money to do it.
And we do have
wedding.
We do have friends all over the country. That's true. We have a few outside of this country as well, but we do have friends all over the country. And you know, I'm grateful for that. We're both grateful for that. It's just, I don't know. My mom wants to be there.
But we do the Italy thing. It's going to be like a good.
My mom is going to cry. If I tell my mom that we are not having a wedding and she can't come, she's going to cry.
Yeah.
I'm just saying.
I hear you. We'll go hang out.
We're not doing it in Vegas. That's the thing.
Yeah.
We wouldn't be doing it in Vegas. We'd be doing it in New England.
All right. So Corey, my favorite Corey 111815. He has the cutest baby in the world.
Oh my God. Did you see the pictures he posted with this baby with the pocket square at the little suit shirt yesterday? I couldn't stand it.
It's disgusting. It's disgusting. So cute. Anyway, $9.99 super chat. Thank you, Corey. Appreciate it. But seriously, one of my favorite Instagrams, the very rare occasions I happen to pop over into Instagram.
Oh, I feel like a creeper because I like every single picture because the baby is so damn cute.
She's like got like Corey saved her search so she can go look at his Instagram, you know, whenever she needs a baby fix. But man,
seriously, one of the cutest babies I've ever seen.
Cute. I think between Corey's baby and Dorothy's grandbaby, we've got the cute babies locked down right now.
Except we have not ever met Corey in person.
Yeah, but we get to look at his pictures. And,
I don't get to smush that little face
Corey,
in person.
We appreciate that you are willing to dress your baby in ridiculously cute little outfits and sometimes themed outfits and take pictures for our enjoyment. So
yeah, it's just for us.
It is for us. It is. It's all for us. It's all about me. Anyway, so thanks for the super chat. We appreciate it. Anyway, it's officially after 12 o'clock.
I need food.
So I guess I gotta go get some food for y'all. I don't know why I just said y'all.
Feed me. Feed me. Feed me.
Anyway, guys, thanks for coming and hanging out with us. We will see you on Sunday. We will be bringing back Sunday Live Haul. Hopefully we'll have some stuff. I don't know.
I got a source.
You got a source.
I got a source.
I got a source. I got nothing. I'm out of stuff. You're pretty much out of stuff. So you got your 500 pins that you got to take pictures of, I guess.
You didn't go source yesterday?
No.
Oh.
And so, well, because like I said, Jesse was out of town, and
gotcha.
Because of he wasn't out of town yesterday, but he was because they don't really do any buying when he's gone.
There would be nothing to buy.
There would be nothing for me to buy. So anyway, all right. So we will see you guys on Sunday and get back to work. I'm gonna go do some grocery shopping. Then we'll have a little lunchy lunch, and then I think you're gonna. What's your plan?
I need to get some listing done today. I got to put away all the stuff that I listed right before I left that is still sitting in the middle of the living room.
Yep.
And then I have to do some listing.
And you also have to go and you were concerned about your 500 platforms and making sure everything's been ended on different platforms and whatnot. So
yeah,
I think that's going to be like your little project. I'm going to do some listings, some cross posting. I'm going to do some ending of old listings, refreshing of new of those ones. So it just keeps on going and going. Anyway, thanks guys for coming and hanging out with us. Sorry to you jerks who think we talk too much. Sorry, jerks. Bless your stinking hearts. I guess if you stuck around long enough to hear me say that to you, then I'm really confused, but whatever. Anyway, talk to you guys later.
Bye.
Bye.